guys, welcome back to another one. Recently I did a breakdown video on Remington's 12 gauge 3.5 inch 18 pellet double-aught buck. You guys seemed to really like it and you wanted to see us recreate that shell to the best of our ability, so that's what we're going to do here today. We also filmed a range video on those, which will be out, if it's not already, soon, maybe the same time this one goes live, I'm not sure. But we have the wad from those. You guys saw these in the breakdown video. It is a Remington SP series wad. Which one specifically, I don't know. But I have a couple wads here that closely resemble that one, that being the MG42 and the CTPS 47. Both of these are non-tox wads, not just plain lead shot wads like this one right here. So they should hold actually a little bit better pattern, and this one, well, the whole shell, actually fared really well. We used the Mossberg 835 with varying different choke tubes. The best one that we had found was the Carlson 727 flush mount full. They call it a full, but as you guys probably know, the 835 and 935s have a 10 gauge bore, and 727 for a 10 gauge would technically be extra full. So there you go. All of them that we fired patterned pretty dang well, but the 727 had them beat by far. Anyway, to recreate this, we're using a Remington 3.5 inch Premier hull here. It does have a Shadot CX2000 in it. We're using this stuff right here, 26. Oh, by the way, the velocity on the Remington loadings were around 1100 to 1150. I should clarify, the 835 has a 24-inch barrel, and the speeds we got out of it was between 1100 and 1150. We fired one using the H&R 3.5 inch SB2, I think it is. I can't remember exactly what model I have, but it has a 28-inch barrel, and with that one we got a speed of 1230. So we did gain about 100 FPS going up 4 inches in barrel length. But anyway, 26. Now we need the CTPS 47 here. If you guys have never seen this wad, they have really thick, heavy-duty pedals on them. So it's actually a very good wad. We've tested it off camera here and there, and it seems to really be delivering the goods. I really like this wad. Be expecting a full video here and at the range on these. Anyway, once you have the wad in, go ahead and compress that. And we are ready for pellets. Now, Remington calls this a double-aught assembly, but it's not double-aught. They are using 32 cal, which is actually single-aught. So that's what I'll be using today too. We are trying to recreate this shell here, so I do have 32 cal. Stack these by 2, and 12 of these should actually fit in the wad. 12 actually fit in that wad. 14, 16, and 18. Okay, so once you have 18 pellets in, by the way, that is a 1.99 ounce assembly here of just lead. The buffer will bring it up to about 2.1. So we're adding 2 scoops of a Lee 2.2 cc dipper here of whatever BPI buffer you have. Vibrate that down. That way we can add the last of our buffer. 1 more scoop. This does require 3 scoops. And we are ready for an overshot card. And for an overshot card, I'm using a 12 gauge Maxi Nitro card. I'm tearing off, about a 32nd of an inch of it, and using that as an overshot card, obviously. Throw that on top. We're not using a Mylar wrap or anything here, just keeping it relatively simple. You can't see it, but stack height is correct. This has a 6-point crimp on it, so backstation of the reload all. Crimp looks great. Now we're going to use the Rebacitor, and well, that kind of almost closed it up, but not quite. Now just finish it off. Guys, might have needed just a little bit more of an overshot card because it is kind of caved in just a little bit, but still, it looks pretty good. They ain't all gotta look pretty. I'll open this up off camera and put a little bit more of a overshot card in there, and it'll look great. But there it is, recreated in a Remington hull using the CTPS 47. Now, I just realized I had this sitting over there. This is actually one of the hulls that we fired. This is one of the Remington 18 pellet double aughts. I didn't know it was sitting there, or I would have used this. It's pretty hot in here, guys. Getting kind of toasty. But if you don't have any Remingtons, I know not everybody does, well, just get you a Shadot hull or a Fiocchi, whatever you have. 3.5 inch will work. Next, we need the LMG 42 watt. This one has a little bit shorter shot cup. You can fit 10 of the 32 cal in here, and we're going to use those as double aught once again because that's what Remington does. Anyway, 10 32 cal will fit in here, not 12, but 18 still fits fine. We're going to compress that just a little bit and get our pellets. Fistful of them this time. 1, 2. These do drop in just fine by twos. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Okay, there's 18 pellets. As you can probably tell, this one goes together very, very quick and easy too. But we get our buffer. Again, start off with 2 scoops, that way you can actually fit all 3. Get that shake down, then add your 3rd scoop. Piece of a fiber cushion wad in there somehow, but there's our 3rd scoop. And ready for an overshot card. Or in my case, the Maxi Nitro card once again. Alright, we'll set that in there. Another 6-point crimp on it. If you didn't know, yeah, you can use 8 if you want to. There's no difference between the two, but there's a pre-crimp for a Bastator. Looks really good. So I did give it just a little bit more with the Rabastator, just because why not, and you can see we are going to end up with a really nice deep set crimp. That's probably a little bit deeper than you really should go with it, but anyway, go ahead and get that guy closed up. I can already tell you right now, it's a really good looking shell. There you go, guys. That's a good looking shell, alright. The only real issue it has is there's no taper, but get you a got BN2 or 3, 4, 1, whatever you want, and just give it a taper if you want a taper on it, but you don't need it. As you can see, no bulging anywhere. The hull is not crushed or bent, deformed, nothing like that. It all fits nice and well, just like the Remington does wherever I put it. I can't find it. Oh, here it is. Yeah. You can see no bulging nowhere, not crushed, good looking shell. Again, the crimp on that one is a little bit concave, but these have more internal capacity than the Shadots do, and they're also a little bit longer, to be honest. So probably could have used just a little bit more of an overshot card. Now, a couple more powders you can use for this right here would be Blue Dot, Steel, and Little Gun. For the Blue Dot and Steel, well, those powders are less dense. They're going to take up more room. You might be able to get away with that in the Remington and not use an overshot card at all. I don't know. I have not tested that. But in the Shadot, if you want to use Blue Dot or Steel for this, you'll have to roll crimp it. It's just the way it is. These don't have a ton of internal capacity like the Remingtons do. Little Gun, you should be able to fold crimp that one without an overshot card using the Shadot hulls, but again, I have not tested that, so don't hold me to it. Before anyone says anything, yeah, this is 32 cal. It's so close to 33. The deer, or whatever you're trying to get with this, is not going to notice the difference, and it's still over a 2-ounce payload with the buffer. Without the buffer, it's 1.99. It's close enough to 2 to call it a 2-ounce assembly here. Back to what I was saying a second ago about the Remingtons actually being a little bit longer. You can see I have the rims lined up exactly, and obviously the Remington is about between a 16th and an 1/8 inch longer than the Shadot. So yeah, the Remingtons are kind of the better haul anyway. They last a little bit longer, a little bit tougher, a little bit more capacity, but they are kind of hard to find, and when you do find them, they're kind of pricey. So if you want to see us pattern these, just let us know, and we will absolutely do that. We'll throw them out back to back and just see what happens. But anyway, guys, I think that's going to end this one here. Please like and subscribe. We always appreciate that. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down in the comment section below, and we'll get back to you. And if you want to, go check out our Patreon. It's as low as $1 a month, and you guys get early access to content. A link to that, as well as a link to our Instagram, Rumble, and merch store will be in the description below. But other than that, you guys take it easy. We'll see you in the next one.